welcome to another episode of
Mum
and Son. I'm Jay, I'm the son.
I'm Alicia and I'm the mum.
Hope everyone's doing well. We're back with another one, another episode.
Yeah,
always feels nice, doesn't it, to do these and just bring them new information out for everyone.
Do you know, it is always so exciting to be making another episode because so many things happen in between that you kind of think, can't wait to say that or share that to everyone. That's exactly what it feels like. You know, it's like you're trying to say, oh, you've been told something and you think, oh, I've got to tell my best friend.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like that.
And to be honest, that's how we see you as well. Like, this is a channel, it's a community, it's a family.
Yeah.
As we say. So we're always excited when you might leave any comments or mention any type of things that you want us to do or talk about. Any kind of support as well is always nice, and we're just here to always share openly, you know, and that's
Exactly.
what we started this with, nothing or no one, and just thinking, let's just share, and there's someone out there that might need to hear this, need that support.
Yeah. And that's how and even the topics that we're choosing right now, obviously let us know if there's any topics you would like us to cover, and if you haven't already done so, don't forget to go back and watch our previous episodes because we've got loads of them, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, we still find new stuff to share anyway, and
it's life, isn't it?
These are things we talk about regularly, and we say, right, let's share that because everyone out there could be in a similar situation, and you know, maybe the words that we say or what we talk about may help just that little bit, and if that helps someone else, then I feel really
even just one person. That's you know,
that's saying to us what you said had value, had meaning, resonated with me. That's all you need. You feel so good.
Yeah, I will say this: it wasn't a mistake starting this channel, and that has given you some insight into what today's episode is going to be about.
Yeah,
which is
about making mistakes. How do you feel about yourself? You know, how do you identify, oh, I've made a mistake? How do you come back from that feeling, from that mistake, you know, and how to overcome the feeling of feeling so devastated if you feel you have made a mistake, and we all make them.
No,
don't we?
It's
oh dear.
It's absolutely true, because I think I can, speaking because we'll probably say, oh, so what's your point of view and this and that.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, Jay. So, you know, obviously we have all made mistakes in our lives. Some way more than others. But just to kind of, you know, open up this whole subject, I guess the major thing is, what do you do after you've made a mistake? In whichever capacity, be it, you know, in relation to family, friends, people you love or are in love with, or, you know, situation or event, even job related, anything like that. You know, how do you bring yourself back, in your view, from having made that mistake? Obviously, I'll share what I think, but, you know, just to get us talking about this. What do you think? Like
always, I'm going to have to look at my own life. Because that's the
so
best
everyone
place.
Watching this video will think but this is the truth. Everyone goes through this.
That's why, because I'd rather tell you what I've been through and how my process, and then listen to like yours, and then we'd come up with more. But I'd always start from personal, from my personal point of view, rather than just go, I think that you should do this. It's like, well, this is what I do. That's helped me. So yeah, I we had an episode about making a choice or a decision. And that one was very potent, because I think, and I'm going to come back to mistakes coming up, we talked about, you know, in life where sometimes we're scared to make a decision because we think we might make the wrong one.
That's right. Right one.
The right one.
I like that line when you said in that one. The fact that you've decided to make a decision Oh no! Say what it is.
I forgot.
No, it was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah. I think it was the fact that you decided to not make a decision.
Means you've made a decision.
Still made a decision. Yeah, like
you made a decision not to make a decision. Yeah. But anyway, it's
like,
funny that
check
one.
that episode out. Like, it was
Real
a good like thing. So yeah, I made a decision recently that, looking at it, and when I did it, I thought this is great. It's fantastic, and I know I've done the right thing. And then as time went by and things didn't go the way I thought they would, I said, "Oh my gosh, I've made a mistake. I've made a mistake, and why have I done this? I've made things harder for myself." And then it went into that thing of, not beating myself up, but going, why did you do this? You made a big mistake here, and look what's happened, and like, you made things a bit harder here, and you thought this would happen, and it's not happening, and so on. And it took me to sort of break down the intention from what I was trying to do
at the time.
Yeah. And saying, hey, even though right now it appears to not be going as I planned or going the way I thought it would, my intention was for my better good, or like my highest good. So I had
at the time,
I had to also accept that, hey, this is where it is, and I can't do nothing about it. But the only thing I can do is work out: do I carry on this course, and do I wait and or do I take a new form of action to create a new solution for me? Because even if something might feel like a mistake initially, it can easily be turned or steered into working out or going towards whatever you want it to actually be.
Yeah, that's exactly
what I had to sort of approach it and
do. I was going to say that I think the best way to deal with mistakes, in my view, I feel that the best way to deal with mistakes is to accept that a mistake is part of life's learning, and sometimes, as I have a saying, sometimes you have to make the wrong decision to make the right one. That sometimes you have to make a mistake to get on the right path. Like you were just saying towards the end of what you just said. Sometimes you have to make a mistake so that you get put back on the right path. And if you can begin to see the mistakes that you've made, I know that so often we'll be filled with absolute regret, that you'll be looking back and thinking, if only I hadn't done this, I hadn't done that, I hadn't said this, I hadn't said that, or at the time I should have said and I didn't. Oh my gosh, that was a mistake. You can't, what you've got to accept is you cannot do anything about what has passed.
That's true.
And that realization has to be a strong one, because you cannot do what has, undo what has already passed. And at the same time, you cannot live in regret of that mistake. You have to push forward. And one of the ways I feel to push forward is to accept it in a way that you say, okay, listen, there's nothing I can do about what has passed, but let me go forward now and let me see this as a learning curve or a journey that now I know I won't make that mistake again. Let it put me on the right path. Let me focus my energy on, you know what I mean? A new goal, a new decision, a new kind of avenue to maybe correct your mistake or find a new energy or goal that will then put you in the right direction.
I totally agree, and I think from what you were saying there, and it made me think, was that, you see, mistakes are a part of the process.
Yeah.
As long as you learn from it,
yeah,
then you advance.
Exactly, and you evolve as a person.
Yeah, because then you avoid doing the same thing again.
Yeah.
And you avoid now doing the right thing, or the thing that will progress you.
Yeah.
To the next step, or the next place, or in the right direction.
Of course. And what do you say to those who are watching or listening and they're saying, but hang on a minute, I seem to keep making the same mistake over and over again, like so many times, say to do with relationships, people say, I keep, choosing the same, kind of character, be it a woman or a guy, I keep being attracted to the wrong man, or I keep being attracted, to the wrong person.
Yeah.
And seem to be repeating mistakes, like, this is relationship wise, but this could be for anything, job, career, even family. You could say, hang on a minute, I love my brother, I love my sister, whatever, but somehow this mistake keeps happening, and whatever, across board, repeated mistakes over and over again. What do you feel? Because I can imagine people saying, I keep making the same mistake. Why?
I see it as using the analogy of like you have to learn from it, this and that. If you're doing like a test and you keep getting the same grade, then it's like, what are you really learning from what you're
True.
doing?
In other words, you are going through the motions, but you haven't learned anything.
Yeah. That's when you have to go, I have to look at what I'm doing.
Myself.
My
self-reflect.
Like
a good episode.
The same way
that one.
Yeah, like the same way that you'd keep coming back and you're just like, well, I got the same grade again. Whatever you've learned or you're learning hasn't advanced you beyond the same thing that you're getting.
Yeah.
So in using that as
that's a good analogy. I like that
analogy. Yeah. You have to go, what am I missing out here? What am I not learning about moving forward, and maybe about myself? Sometimes could there be a thing of there's no self-worth there?
Yeah.
And so you end up having the same thing again. If a relationship is toxic or there's a certain type of person, could it be deeper down there's something blocking you from actually avoiding the same type of thing, same mistake, and avoiding you to going on a brand new path or meeting a brand new type of person, this and that? The same thing for a job. Are you not going to a brand new level or a certain role? Yeah. Because maybe your self-worth,
and sometimes you're undervaluing yourself.
That's it. And that
as a person,
undervaluing and stuff. So, but what I'm saying is the lesson and the learning that you're supposed to do, you're ignoring done it yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once you do that, you'll then be able to get a new grade or move up,
improve, or choose someone that is maybe different to what your usual choice will be, but in the long term you'll be happier. There's I don't know, like I was gonna say that with repeated mistakes, as which we so often do.
Sure.
I think when you find that there's a pattern there, you do have to begin to say, you know what, I need to self-reflect on what is the root cause of my repeating this mistake over and over again. What is the deeper issue here? And that, I think, will require more self-reflection than someone who says, listen, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. Oh, I'll know what to do next time.
That's and then, and I see what you're saying now. Yeah. Like one is that one where you're like, oh, I just made a mistake. Gosh. And then the other one is like, I keep making the same mistake.
Yeah. Sometimes it's business. You keep making the wrong investment or
something like that.
It's
that's like a reflection of whatever's going on in the core of you.
Yeah.
Like, whether that's a belief system, whether that's how you see yourself and your worth, whether you see your value as something.
Correct.
Your perspective of life, things like that. That is definitely, if it's repeated again and again, it's definitely coming from that type of place, and reflection, as you said, is needed.
That is going to be key. You guys have to go and watch that episode, because I think that was a really powerful episode.
Yeah, it was.
On self-reflection. But they very powerful. Repeated things like that you keep falling into the same, the same mistake, you keep repeating the same mistake, and you feel like I'm going round in circles. This is like Groundhog Day. You know, you have to then say, listen, I need to self-reflect on this. I need to go deep and see. And I always say to people, try and pinpoint what the root cause. When was it? Okay, I would say, okay, look at your motives. At the time that you made that repeated mistake. What are what are the motives behind the choice or the decision? And then you realized it was a mistake. Go back to those things, self-reflect on them, try to pinpoint what pushed you to do that. You know what I mean?
That's
you
true.
know, what pushed you to, I don't know, just say for sake, you know, throwing different things here, but obviously this is across board. But, you know, say someone cheats, they can say, why did I do that? You know, what are the things that, you know, or why do I keep, if you're something like that. Or it could be that, you know, you just have bad judgment when it comes to judging people's characters. You know, why? What is it, you know, are you fearful?
Sure.
Do you, are you too trusting? Are you too, are you too weak when you come to dealing with the fallout of things? You know, are you taking a stand? Are you putting your foot down? Are you, you know, this is like if, say, things have happened to you that have been other people's mistakes. That's another interesting one, isn't it? You know, how do you cope with other people's mistakes? You know, that you allow them to keep repeating a mistake, or, you know, how do you cope with that? Because obviously we're doing it from the point of view that you make a mistake, but then, you know, other people make mistakes that affect you.
It's true.
And how do you cope with that? You know, and I would say the same thing in that regard.
Pretty much.
It's always growth. It's always a learning curve. And you ask yourself, what am I learning from this situation? How am I growing? How am I evolving?
Yeah.
Who is the person? What is the person, or who is the person I'm becoming?
That's exactly
due to that mistake having been made, or that situation. You know, what do you think, especially about when people make mistakes that affect you?
Gosh, I mean, you probably know more than that than me, because you put the topic up. But I totally agree with everything that you said there. I like honestly do. I think the more I think about the mistake thing, because what I want to think about as well is why, when we make a mistake, and this isn't, maybe the repeat one's a bit different, but I'm talking about when people try something and it doesn't work. Like, I made a mistake. Why do we feel like we should feel so bad about that? And I think on some level, unknowingly, it's because when you go through the school system and these things, if you make a mistake, you've got certain people that can, and this is parents as like, well, that can go, oh, well, like, you know, you don't do it like that, this is how you do it, but nice try. And then you've got sometimes, whether it's teachers or parents, this and that are like, why did you do that, you stupid blah blah blah? Or it's much heavier, like you shouldn't have done that, that's and then you feel a sense of oh gosh, like
feel bad,
I can't make a mistake in life. Like if I do, then I feel I'm not fully correct or perfect or whatever.
I think when you make mistakes, it is frowned on, and that's just the way we grow up.
Because
mistakes
but I'm
are
saying
like
that, like, mistakes will happen because, as someone said, and I like this quote, someone who hasn't made a mistake is someone who hasn't even tried.
That's true.
So if you haven't tried to do anything in life, you will never make a mistake, because when you do try and do something, you're bound to make it. You know, whether naturally when we walk and you fall over, whether the first time you're learning to do something and you get it wrong. But what I'm saying is, I think sometimes it can, that kind of thought or stigma that's brought around it with, that's a mistake, like the same
that's why
thing
we
can
feel
happen,
so bad.
but if it's like, okay, that might have not been the way, but all you need to do is just do it like that.
Yeah.
And then you got it right. So just try again. You know, with that encouragement or something, you see the mistake as a stepping stone.
That's what I felt.
Yeah.
The best way to overcome it is to see it as, like you said, a stepping stone.
Yeah,
like
as that type
part
of lesson
of your
that
journey.
Yeah, that's
part of your
see
journey.
It like that,
yeah,
it changes a lot. So rather than to beat yourself up and I didn't get it right and I'm not correct and I should have been right, you see it as wow, this is it.
And I think I would say probably to anyone that's watching or listening is when you make a mistake, okay, the worst thing to do is to beat yourself up about it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we tend to do. And that's when it lingers, we're filled with regret, we keep looking back on this mistake, and obviously our focus gets taken off what is the next step. As you said, if we see a mistake as a stepping stone, you think, you know what, I can take the next step forward and overcome it, or make the right decision, or the right thing, do the right thing next time, so I don't have a mistake. But I feel what's important as individuals around this whole idea of making mistakes is don't beat yourself up, but see it. If you can see it from a different perspective, then you can overcome it. You know, if you see your mistakes as stepping stones rather than, calamities that will destroy your life forever, even though sometimes you think, gosh, it's close to that. But if you see them as stepping stones to reaching a goal or reaching a better conclusion the next time around, then you don't feel so bad about it. You can say, you know what, I learned from that, or I am learning from that, and I can now do this and I can now do that. I feel that's the best way to overcome them.
What's funny, you saying that is because you hit right on the nail with something, because recently when I talked about in the beginning when I made a mistake, I was listening to a song by Nipsey Hussle, who's a rapper. Like, he's sadly passed away, and everything. So rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. But some of his lyrics are so motivational. And one he said, and this is going back to this, is he said something to the effect of, "I came from the turf. I doubled my worth. Yeah, I made some mistakes, but that was a part of my search."
Wow.
And
that's
that
amazing.
bit of I made some mistakes, but that was a part of my search is coming to
the stepping stone.
This is the stepping stones of searching and finding yourself, the journey that you're on, and everything.
Yeah.
And making some mistakes is just a part of the process. And a part of the finding and the unfolding of what it is that is coming and happening,
and what you're going toward.
You're going towards. But if you don't
make mistakes,
then you're not figuring it out. Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when I heard that, I thought about that and I went, wow, like I was beating myself up or maybe being a bit too hard on myself for my mistakes, but that's a part of my search, a part of my growth, as you were saying, a part of the journey. Yeah. And when you see it like that, you say, hey, I know I'm going in the right way. And
what I love in terms of, I just said not too long ago about, how to perceive your mistake. If you can perceive it in a different way, if you can also see it as being able to evolve as a person through your mistakes, you know that you're becoming a better person, you're growing, you're taking on board what lessons you're learning through the mistakes you've made. And you can, I wouldn't say like make a pact with yourself, but, come to an agreement within your heart and soul that, you know what, I've learned from that and I'm a better person having been through it.
Yeah, exactly.
And made that mistake, but I love the quote, the line that he wrote.
Exactly.
Rest his soul. Like,
I made some mistakes, but that's a part of my search. Like, that's it.
Lovely. Bless him.
And because we've talked about this, about life and everything, and when you see things as a journey and everything is a process and there's progress and stuff, these things are all just a part of that
evolution, isn't it?
evolution.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
you know, guys, you mustn't beat yourself up.
No,
you know,
true, don't.
This is like one of those things where, you know, you can come back from it. You can, you know, take it as your life's learning. And, you know, the key thing is don't dwell in the mistake as well.
That's true, yeah.
Start living and dwelling in it, you know, because the more you dwell on the mistake, the worse it comes across to you.
It's true.
And your mind just starts filling in all these, you know.
It's true. Like
you start creating a movie of the whole
and then you start making scenes
fallout of it,
and everything.
You know, and you know, I would say if you've made a mistake that's affected others, you know, go to them, apologize. Or say,
sure,
you know, be open about it.
Yeah.
Let people know that you've had growth or learning. I'm just saying this,
true, actually,
you know, with regards to,
that's actually
you know,
true,
if you've made a mistake that's affected people,
sure.
you know, just go to them and say, listen, own up.
Do you know what? That's the perfect thing. Like,
own up to it.
You'll find it funny in a sense, but people will have more respect for you if you say, like, you know what? I thought this. I
hold my hands up,
but I hold my hands up, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I kind of made a mistake there.
Or I misjudged you, or I got
it wrong, or
yeah.
this and that.
Yeah.
But you know, I've sort of learned about, you know,
people will respect you for
and
that.
you find people do.
Yeah, because it means that you've looked at yourself.
Yeah, like that takes a lot of maturity.
Yeah.
To reflect on yourself.
Yeah, and
see
say
that growth and admit, hey, or like just accept and be at peace with, hey, this is what I did, but I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, and even the other way round, if someone's made a mistake towards you and, you know, have owned up to it or whatever, you know, support that situation and say, listen, like I do understand it was a mistake.
You know, like
why are you laughing?
Because I was just thinking that I totally agree with it, but if you're out there and you're with someone and they keep playing games and they cheated on you multiple times,
no,
you probably
put your foot down.
Yeah. For that instance, like you might need to think. So
put your foot down.
Yeah, but for the general thing, what like you're saying is it. But if you're someone who's really, you know,
being
someone
taken,
said,
taken for a ride,
and they do it again and again and again. Then
put a stop to it.
Then that's a different type.
Obviously there's variations.
Of course.
In all, but you know, I was thinking
no,
more
of course, like in general,
yeah.
But just as you said that, I was just thinking about like a scenario came into my head. So I thought after you say that, I was gonna
definitely
have the other side for people who might be going through something.
Put your foot
else.
down.
Yeah, for that,
You know, but in other instances, you know, like more kind of general instances.
No, of course, like general ones, like the more general.
Yeah, and somebody comes and apologizes and whatever for their mistake, you know, be forgiving if, you know, so long as it's not something that's unforgivable, but be forgiving and, you know, just move on, isn't it?
Exactly that.
You know, I'm trying to think of different, because obviously people are watching, and so I'm trying to think of different angles where this whole thing
we covered it from
affecting
making
people.
A mistake and my gosh, I made a mistake. People who make repeated ones, and then also affecting others affecting you by making mistakes. So I think
it's all good. Like, so
sides of it.
I think, guys, hope you're enjoying this particular episode, because I don't know, like so many things came up around mistakes that I wasn't really expecting to talk about. But as usual, as we talk, things, you know, things coming to
experiences and different points of views.
Yeah, but you know, don't beat yourself up. See it as a learning evolution, as you said, a stepping stone to better, to getting yourself on track, to making the right kind of choices, so that that mistake is behind you. And you know, the fact it's behind you means you can go forward. Let it go, move on, you know.
That's exactly it. And what I definitely say as well to people, that whether they're trying to grow or move forward and they're hitting a mistake and they're seeing it in a certain way or a negative way, as we said, don't tar it with that brush.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up.
Don't like beat yourself up. And what I'd say is just remember that if you don't ever come out of your comfort zone or try anything, you may not make a mistake, but you also won't change or grow in any type of way.
Yeah,
and it's going back to the whole grades thing.
Yeah.
Where the analogy, you're just going to keep having the same thing.
It's true.
And you're thinking, oh, but why do I keep having it? Because you have to try. You have to grow. And if you meet a mistake up on the way, that means you're going in the right place.
That's true. That's true. Because you're not going to advance in life by not going forward. And going forward means you are going to make mistakes. See them, perceive them differently, and then how you deal with them will be dealt differently.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If you perceive it in a different way, how you're going to deal with it, you're going to deal with it differently. And that's where you have to kind of, you know, I don't know, pat yourself on the back from learning from that situation or that circumstance and that mistake, you know, and it's like, see yourself as growing and accommodating whatever your mistake is, and that allows you to go forward.
I totally agree, and I'll just add on to that quickly, because you have to remember that as you're growing and going through this process, you're also understanding yourself.
Beautiful,
So it's like...
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Self-understanding, that's another good one we can do as a topic.
So that's okay, and sometimes by mistakes you understand yourself even more.
Yeah, that's crucial,
And
that's like we said with the self-reflection, you know, sort of reflect, and that helps you, as you said, with self-understanding, so that you can now do something else and not make that mistake again. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to you know, go back, see the previous episodes to learn more about what we're talking about, and leave your comments for us, because we love to receive those comments. And you know, having your feedback on how things are or topics that you want helps us grow as a channel, you know. Definitely. And what else do they need to do to help the channel grow?
Yeah, exactly. And if for all the further episodes that you want to watch or be notified on, hit the bell button, subscribe, and join the family as well. And also, we are on Spotify, so we'll leave that link in the description below so you can check it out, and you can listen to us.
That's exciting.
In a audio version, which will be nice as well. You may miss our faces, but it's still great quality and content, so you can also follow on there. And that pretty much sums it.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well.
Yep. And the notify bell.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Do it all.
Do it all. Do it all. And as Mum said, any comments, stuff like that, please leave it. We always love to see it and help. Like the video as well. If you like it, or share it with someone who might need it.
That's a good one.
That's it as well.
Share it.
So I guess in total, MumNSon, we're done. See you on the next one.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.